Up every day, fighting the night, struggling to find my way, feeling so right. Dreams of peace are just out of sight, but I won't give up, no, I'll keep the fight. Through the storm and through the rain, I keep searching for that one thing again. A smile, a hug, a gentle hand. In this world, we're all connected, that's the plan. Together we rise, side by side, building bridges, breaking down pride. With every step, we get closer to light, striving for peace, making it right.
Hi everyone, my name is Reginald, or Reggie for short, and you just reached out today and found the Drifting World podcast. And I'm happy that you tuned in today. And so what we are, the Drifting World podcast is a production created from Drifting World Productions LLC. That's who we are as a business. And what we do is we create audio educational products, and we wanted to start bringing information to the public that can actually help improve relationships in the world. So it's not just a nationwide thing here in the United States, but we're on a quest right now to issue in a new era of peace and freedom. And it's the hidden peace and freedoms that most people don't know exist throughout the world through different cultures or different countries. And we know that there's different constitutions in different countries, but we want to do comparative analysis of different constitutions and different cultures to enlighten the public about the freedom that country has, or the freedom that we have that country does not have. Their freedoms might be more restricted than ours. And so we also want to explain or educate about things that, even though they're restrictive in nature, there's other value to some of those restrictions that we can learn from. So just to go forward, I'm going to read you our disclaimer that will be published on every show, hopefully. And I just want to let you know that Drifting World Productions will make no warranties or representations regarding the completeness, accuracy, or reliability of the information aired on our podcast. And the reason for that is we're getting them from the news sources, we're getting it from places like the Washington Post. So anything we get can be misconstrued, and we don't want that to happen. We know that happens in any kind of replay of the news, and we don't want to be a fake news, anything like that. So we take no responsibility from any viewpoints of the comments that are aired from the guests or our followers, subscribers, what they might reflect about what they've seen or heard or got this deeper information. So what we're trying to do is present you an unbiased report, which will include all our research resources, whatever resources we use to get the information. We'll present that to you so that you can do due diligence in rediscovering that same information and come to your own conclusions. So our mission, we're here to issue in a new era of peace and freedom throughout the world. And that sounds like a tall order, and it is. And so not something you do overnight, something that takes time. And we decided that we might as well be the show that does that, or be a group of people who are on a mission to do just that kind of thing. And we believe that that's what the world is after, but this happens to happen gradually. And so the Drifting World podcast is here to educate, inform, and to issue in that era of peace and freedom. Now I'm going to introduce Solomon. Solomon is our vision finder for Drifting World Productions, and he's going to tell you about his journey from Cuba to America.
Hi everyone, welcome to the podcast. My name is Solomon. We created a podcast company in order to represent freedom and restrictions all over the world. Right now we have that vision. This is a new company. We are just starting right now, and this is our first video. We are trying to get with you guys and let you know everything about histories in the country, all the politicians that history has, we have. And we are very rich, very on history, United States too, every country's region history too. But some things happen because if you look at the history, it's because something else is going on back in the days. So we are trying to show you the truth. We are not going to lie to you or tell you something that is incorrect. We are doing many things. We are creating more things behind the LLC that are going to support this podcast and our subscribers. Okay, so it's very important. I am coming from Cuba, yes. I come from Cuba like 23 years ago. I live in a communist country. And I know what it feels living in a communist country. We feel we lost our rights, all our freedom of speech. We basically can do anything. We just living in this country, the population, we just living without right, any right. They have no right. Everything they do is a violation. Everything they do is a violation. And they go into jail. This government of Cuba, they are very tough. They manipulate all the population, and it's not right. It's not right. We are going to be talking about that too. We not agree with that kind of system, and we don't want any country or any population living in that conditions. Right? We are together on this. Once again, we are all family over here in the United States. I consider everyone is a family over here, and I treat all of you guys as a family. I'm very concerned about things here, communist country, other countries too. We gotta address everything and be good with the human. Thank you.
Hi everyone again. Solomon pretty much said it all. There's a lot more to this. He summarized what we're trying to do is outline what we know to be peace and freedoms that we're accustomed to in this country, but that some other countries don't get. Okay, they have restrictions. And we're trying to not only educate people on those so they know what they are, but then there's some hidden freedoms in those countries that the United States doesn't know about and that we all need to relate to. We need to be able to learn from each other. Some of those things might change things in a positive way. We don't know this yet, but that's what our show is all about. We're not experimenting, but we're learning from each other. Solomon told you about his journey, and I didn't tell you about mine, but I'd like to take time right now to tell you a little bit about Mike. Mike is not on the set with us today, will be in the future. Mike and I hit it off. I was working a security post, and this happens to be his residence at that time. So over the course of about 5-6 years, I got to know Mike real good. So recently Mike purchased a house and set up our studio. And so at this point in time, Mike introduced a neighbor, and this neighbor happens to be Solomon, who you just heard from. So Mike makes it happen. Mike is the guy that makes it happen for us. Mike has a lot of experience with the public as far as travel, getting them from point A to point B. He's done a lot. We were both musicians. I'm a keyboard player. He's a keyboard player plus. and I'm a former bass player. He's a bass and a guitar player plus, and a singer. That's Mike. Mike loves music. I love music. That's my favorite thing. Anyway, another thing about me with podcasts, they asked me to be part of this podcasting business simply because I once had my own podcast production. And my podcast production was not a video podcast production, it was totally audio. I was going through Live 365. They are a online internet company that actually you can broadcast or podcast through. So that's what I was doing. And what got me into that had to do with, I had a course at a college, and when I came out of that course, I had a hunger to make a website, and the website was supposed to be helping people to start over again. So I still have that website today, and it's called Destination New Start. And I came about in about 2004, 2005, that's when I created it. It's still online today. So when I started that website, later on, I ended up getting a job doing surveys with a company called SSRS. We got into all kinds of surveys, including the last ones I ever conducted were long ones. They were medical studies. And so with those long surveys, I started finding that I had a quality voice to do a podcast. And we had a couple guys there. One guy still does podcasting. He does these horror stories, and that's his podcast. And he became part of my team at the time I was doing my podcast show. But anyway, getting back to Drifting World. Drifting World is going to make educational products. There might be a time you can come and get something from us, and you'll see that we're selling something for you to learn the history of, say, Cuba, or the history of another country. Those are going to be manufactured, and they're going to come from what we're doing now. So those are some of the things we want to do. But just to get back on track, I pretty much told you what got me involved. There's also another person involved. He's handicapped. He's not directly involved, but he's behind the scenes, and we'll introduce him later. His name is Nick. And Nick has cerebral palsy. However, Nick and I did the former podcast called Keys Determining Now Solutions. So I took the Destination New Start alphabet of DNS. I put a K in front of that, came with KDNS, and that became the name of a radio station or a podcast label. Then I came up with a new show called The Kingdom of Developing New Songwriters. So that's just some of the history of what I was doing. We want to return to those elements too, but that's going to all be part of this that we're doing now, probably in the future. But mainly what we're doing here is we're creating an atmosphere that we can issue in an era of peace and freedom, not just for America. We want this to be a worldwide thing. And so that's what